even to this day, British troops continue to keep the peace on the Green Line. And they've been changing guard at Ledra Palace in Nicosia. After 6 months on the Green Line, 3 Royal Anglian have made way for 23 Pioneer Regiment. Cath Brazier went to meet the new arrivals as they learned the ropes in the buffer zone.
There's a road in Nicosia only trodden by the British. Overlooked by Greek National Guard and Turkish Forces, sometimes only metres apart, soldiers from the UK regularly patrol here. What used to be the heart of the city is now referred to as Sector 2. Under British control, the responsibility changes hands every 6 months. Last week saw 23 Pioneer Regiment take over from 3 Royal Anglian.
Just a different way of doing business, especially for those who've deployed on operations, or combat operations I should say, to Afghanistan or Iraq, that actually here, it's a completely different skill set and you have to learn it from day one, week one, and by that I mean sometimes within 5 hours of getting off the plane.
And the great thing about Cyprus is it provides a unique opportunity. Firstly for the soldiers, the junior commanders, in the fact that much of the negotiation and patrolling the buffer zone and de-escalating things is very much at a private soldier level.
So the time has come for 3 Royal Anglian to vacate Ledra Palace, but the transfer of authority doesn't stop here at this flag ceremony. Arguably the most crucial part of the handover is out there on the buffer zone.
So this is Spear Alley. Narrowest point in the buffer zone is between those 2 balconies, which is free.
Here, the outgoing Lieutenant Mark Hart is passing on his skills to his incoming counterpart, Lieutenant Lee Ebsworth.
To build a visual barrier, they stacked up the tea chests. They were facing to their side. The Greek forces complained that they were fortifying a position, and by this they said they could be filling the boxes with sand, with concrete, and that it was against the agreement. So the UN got involved and came up with an agreement that the Turkish forces would turn the boxes around to show that there was nothing in them. Unfortunately, the UN didn't stipulate a time frame, so the Turkish forces turned one box around a week, and it took approximately 14 months for the entire wall to be turned around.
Before the intervention, this street was home to the businesses and the livelihoods of many Cypriots. But on July 20th, 1974, the world as they knew it stood still. Now there are just reminders of what used to be.
We just walked through, it's a massive hotspot at the moment. We've got one of the observation posts up on top of the building here.
Today's troops are mindful of the history and ensure that everything is kept as it was 37 years ago.
The doors are open. The issue is none of this stuff belongs to us, obviously, so as such we don't want to be opening and closing doors too often because it doesn't belong to us. We don't want to cause any unnecessary damage.
Optosca works against a backdrop of weekly meetings between the 2 Cyprus leaders. Dimitris Christofias and Dervis Eroglou will meet with the Secretary-General at the UN in New York at the end of this month. In the meantime, 23 Pioneer Regiment will do as their predecessors have and maintain the status quo in the buffer zone. Cath Brazier, Forces News, Nicosia.